about step 3 of the reading system. And step 3 will take place when the children have read through the whole book and they've used their decoding, their segmenting and blending, to be able to read all the words in the book, and they've done a fantastic job of that. Now, the aim of step 3 is to develop the children's reading fluency. And reading fluency is starting to develop an understanding that actually we don't need to decode every single word. Sometimes we might just know that word and we don't need to read it anymore and decode it out. We can just read it by sight straight away. So we allow the children to see how they can do that here. So the children have already gone through the tricky words in this book. They started to see, oh, I'm not sure about that word. I've learned it over and over again. So when I come to see it this time, I know actually I've seen that word, I can do it again. Sometimes we might read the whole book again with the children if they need that extra practice. Sometimes we might just read a few pages of them to allow them to read that bit again. And I know sometimes we think, oh gosh, not this book again. However, for children, it's really important to have that bit of familiarity because they already know this book. It's not something new. They've not got to put their emphasis on the decoding anymore. They can put their emphasis on actually reading the words by sight and developing that. Also, part of step 3 is that now that the emphasis has been taken away from decoding, the segmenting and blending, the children are able to think more about the actual story and what's happening in the story. So equally, then they'll be able to think about their reading comprehension, their understanding of the text. So here we think about using our Vipers skills. So we start to ask the children questions about the vocabulary. So do they understand the words that they're reading? Are you sure you know what this means? Oh, what do you think that means? Can you find it out in the text? Their inference, so that's reading kind of beyond what that text actually says and thinking about what we know. So we might say that, oh, a child's fallen over, how do you think they feel? It might not say how they feel, but we're using what we know and cues in the book to be able to allow us to think about that. So then we've got prediction. Can they make any predictions? What might happen next in the story if it was to carry on? E is the explanation. So that's explaining different things. Can you explain a part of a story? What's happening here? Why is that happening and like that? Retrieval is a great one. Retrieval is quite a straightforward one. It's getting the children to find the information in the text and prove it to you. The information for the question that you need is in the text. Find it for me. Oh, what did the little girl do after she went to the park? Find it in the book. Go back and have a look. Then we've got, so V-I-P-E-R, and then S finally is sequencing and summarising. So sequencing at this stage is getting to put the story in order. What happened at the beginning, what happened in the middle, and what happened at the end. And step 3, I think, is the most important step because this is where the children start to really get to understand the book and the text starts to come alive to them. So although it might seem like they're reading it for a while, there is a good reason behind it. Okay, right then, this is our step 3 then we're going to do now. So, you've been reading the book, please do not sneeze. Now, what can you tell me about it? Can you tell me about this story? Retell it to me. What happens?
She always sneezes when there's people there. And
who's she?
The princess.
The princess always sneezes when people are there, okay.
And when she sneezes, it's like she's saying people are not kind things to them. It sounds like she's saying something that's not very kind.
Oh, right. And how do people feel then when that happens?
Upset.
They're feeling a little bit upset. I think I'd be feeling upset as well. Then was she really saying things that were unkind or not?
She was just sneezing and it sounded like she was sneezing at someone's face too.
So did they think she was being a little bit rude maybe? Ah. And did people say anything about it to her?
Her parents did, because that was the queen and the king.
Ah, right, and they said you need to stop doing that. I see. Now, when we were reading this book, I'm going to pass it over to you. I've got a question for you. Can you find out why the children were feeling upset? Can you find that in the book for me? Let's do some retrieval questions. Why were the children feeling upset? See if you can find the page where that might be on. And I can see that you're using the pictures here to help you. That gives you a good clue, doesn't it? Okay, have you found it? Okay, why were those children feeling upset?
Because they lost their mummy and daddy.
Good girl. Does it say that in the book? Can I double check? Well done, it does, doesn't it? Here, I'm going to show everybody at home as well. The children were lost. We can't see our mummy and daddy. High five. Great question answering there. Well done. So what we'll do now then, just to finish off our stage, step 3, is can we just have a quick read of a couple of pages? Now this time, because you've practiced it again and again and again, this time I bet you'll be able to read it super duper fast. What do you think? So your fluency will get better. Not that sure. Should we have a little
Not that
try?
sure.
Not that sure. Let's have a little try then. Do your best reading. Remember, if you're not sure about it, you can always go back and reread it. Okay? Off you go.
And you was on the beach with Will and Wilma. It was sunny, but the sea was chilly. It's too chilly to swim.
Good girl, well done. And then I can see this time you've got a little bit quicker with it as well because you've been practicing it. Great job. Let's have a read of one more page and then that's it.
But where are
Let's have a double check.
there were lost people on the beach.
Do that sentence one more time for me.
There were lots of people on the beach.
Good girl.
Wolf had a frisbee. Catch, he called. Mind the people.
Beautiful, that's fantastic. Good girl. I'm going to stop you just there because you've done a super job. Do you want to say bye to the people?
Bye.
Bye.